Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or is it still my YouTube channel? I don't really know, but welcome. I'm so happy to have you here today. I hope you really do enjoy the content that we have for you. Before we start with anything, we'd just like to say thank you to our 50 new subscribers that we've gained within the last 2 weeks. That really means a lot. We thank you guys for, the amazing responses that we've received in the last video. I think that's why we're here today, right? Because we saw how you guys really loved the first video that we published, and so we thought, let's do many more.
Video number 2 might be 3, 4 as well.
Yeah, so we've decided that we are going to do a 4-part series whereby we detail our story from the beginning up until the wedding day and eventually life after marriage. So that means that the first video that we've already published 2 weeks ago would have been the first one. The second one is today, and today we'll be covering our journey from varsity to Lobola.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah, I can't wait for it.
So it's going to be from varsity to Lobola. Part 3 will be from Lobola to our wedding day, and I'm personally very excited about that because I know we really love, reliving our wedding day.
Yeah, more like part 3 will be Noskum's episode.
Why? Why is it my episode only? You also enjoyed our wedding day. Why are you acting? Why are you here acting like you didn't enjoy the attention?
Our wedding day was perfect. It was everything that I had prayed for.
So why would it be my thing?
But I'm just saying, that's gonna be your episode.
Guys,
and then part 4 will be life after the wedding.
Yes, basically part 4 will be from the day of the wedding up until today. And I think that's a continuous process because, that never ends. There's a lot of issues to be discussed, after marriage.
Yeah, we're still doing life after the
wedding. We're still doing life
now.
After marriage. We've only been married for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of areas to explore there.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, I'm really looking forward to, sharing this journey with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us courage to open up some more. I think it helps to have people that are rooting for you behind the scenes and cheering you on and letting you know that the content that you're sharing is actually relevant. So we're really grateful for that. And so stay tuned for today's episode, which is part 2 from university to Lobola Day.
Yep.
Let's start here. So, end of 3rd year, right? When I finished my degree.
Yeah.
I've already mentioned that. I grew up with a single mom, and my mom wasn't she was quite strict, right?
Yeah.
So, after my 3rd year, while I was doing my 4th year, I think it was actually during the December holidays of my 3rd year. So, I decided to sit my mom down and tell her that I've got a boyfriend. And that was quite a task. I remember praying about it weeks and weeks before, and I was so nervous. I didn't know how she was going to react, but I didn't want it to drag because I was just so afraid that what if she finds out from someone else? And she already had questions in her mind. Every parent in 3rd year of any child, they sort of suspect that there's some form of a relationship that's going on. So I then took a decision to tell my mom. I remember we were sitting watching TV around about 8 p.m. So I was like, Mom, I have something to tell you. I think I met someone. Yo.
She called me, she called me same time. She picked up the phone.
She's like, who's this guy? Oh, ushamdana Lilian.
Yeah, so your mom did call me. I remember her calling me, and you didn't give me a heads up, right? To say, babe, my mom's gonna call you.
I didn't, but I told you that I was telling my mom about our relationship.
Oh yeah, so when I saw that call come through, I was like, hello, and the rest is history, guys, eh? But no.
Till this day, I still don't know what you guys spoke about on the phone. What did you guys speak about?
No, so she first asked me basically what.
So what are your intentions?
Yeah, what are my intentions?
What did you say?
No, I told her, no, I'm in this for good. I'm in this. So, and the second thing she asked me was that, are you born again? You know? Yeah, I was like, yep, I'm born again. I'm from a good family, filled with
All I know is Christ.
You know, everyone's a pastor in my family, you know. My uncle's a pastor, my aunt's a pastor, you know. Every second cousin is a pastor, so.
Say no more.
Yeah.
You can ask me about other things, not that.
Check. You see with that one, check. Let's move on.
Yeah, so I think
else.
I sort of got the same questions from my mom. I mean, she asked me actually, how do I know that you are the one? And I was like, Mom, I know because I've consulted God and I think He said He is the one.
Yeah.
And at that point, I mean, we couldn't disclose when we had met. We couldn't disclose the details because it would seem like, girl, you've been seeing this guy for 5 years.
Yeah. No, true.
I was scared to say that part. I was just like, Mom, we met and we are dating and we want to get married. Okay, baby. So that's sort of the part where, I told my mom about you. How did you tell your parents about me?
How did you tell my mom?
Formally. Did you ever even tell them formally?
I was like, my mom always knew that somehow I'm gonna have a girlfriend, or you know. So was it formal? It wasn't really formal, you know. It wasn't really formal. My mom liked saying, "Oh, I know about that girl." You're like, which girl, you know?
And you were so secretive. Oh my word, you're the most secretive. My word, Seth is the most secretive person I've ever met in my whole life.
The thing is, you're like, what girl are you talking about, Mom? No, I know about that girl. Like, hey, Pela Mom, what are you talking about? And we're like, okay, no, I know about that girl. Okay, eventually I admitted to it, and then I think I did formally introduce you to them. But this was after graduation. It was not before graduation.
It was after graduation.
Because now we're talking about before graduation.
Yeah. So maybe so introduction to parents is one thing, and then meeting the parents is something else. I guess that's the part that happened in 2014, right? When I was graduating, 2015 actually, when I was graduating for my post-grad. I decided that I was going to invite Setu to be part of the graduation. Honestly, I felt like it was only valid to have you in the graduation because you were by far one of the people that had helped me through CTA, because it was a rough year, and you were there to
so
support me.
So I provided a shoulder to cry.
Yeah. So okay. I felt like that was a part that led me to making the decision of.
But I had to come there as your cousin's friend, your cousin's close friend, you know.
I think as a girl, right, this phase of transitioning from varsity to working is a bit challenging as a girl, I believe, because we had been together for so long. And now was this moment that we had been longing for all our lives.
Yeah.
And you got your car for the first time.
Yeah.
And you started being independent. So I think it's normal for a girl to go through all of those emotions of oh no, now that this guy is all independent, is he still going to be by my side? Is it still going to be the same? Yeah. Is it going to change? Because we've seen, society has just created this thing that once you start making money, then you become the center of attraction for other girls. You know what I mean?
And there's that thing, that uzokshi kind of mentality.
That kind of mentality as well. And, that's normal. So I went through a lot of that in that phase of us transitioning from varsity to working. I don't know if you felt the same.
Well, for me, not really. Because I always had faith in us, right? Look, that conversation we had back then, even still to this date, you know what I mean? I still draw from that conversation, or because I don't believe the covenant was really made on our wedding day. I believe the covenant was made back in 2011.
Unofficially so.
Unofficially so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that because we had a strong background, a strong root, you know what I mean, or source basically of where we actually formed this relationship, or how we actually formed this relationship of ours. I wasn't really moved by this material things, you know, that were, or these phases that we were going through as we were growing, you know.
So, my love, I want us to address this very controversial thing, right? And I know, I mean, society has sort of created this impression that if in any case the girl gets something before the guy, like for instance in my case, I got a car before you did. How did you handle that in our relationship, and how did we get through that? And I don't want my perspective, because I would have been on the other side. I'm more interested in finding out how you handled it as a man, and you know, as
a dude.
As a dude, yes.
Yeah. So more than anything else, it was said, oh, your girl has a car now. You know, can you trust her? You know what I mean? She might be going behind your back and doing 1, 2, and 3. All these things were said, but like, as I said, the thing is, I used to remind you every time, you know, would actually link up or hook up, you know what I mean? We spoke about trust, we spoke about love, you know what I mean? Those were the pillars, you know, that we actually formed this relationship on, you know? And so I had to go back and remind myself, even in the midst of everything being said, because things were said even when you were not there, you know what I mean? And it was just me by myself. Maybe I'm with a group of friends, or maybe I'm with acquaintances or some sort, you know. And then those things did come up in the conversations, but I didn't really focus on those things. You know what I mean? Because it is out there, it is being said, you know, especially if your woman gets the car before you do, you know, then hey, what's gonna happen? Do you trust that she's gonna be loyal to you? Do you trust this? Do you trust that? You know? But I went back and I drew confidence from
the foundation,
or the source of our relationship.
And I think like it's so vital. I mean, it's so this thing of us creating fundamental principles from a very young age has really helped us in defining our relationship per se, because we know that our relationship is not based on anything that anyone can see, that is evidence anywhere around. We know that our relationship has been founded in things of the spirit, you know what I mean, in godly principles that would not be understood by anyone. And so with that being said, we have learned and we've adapted a culture of, you know, not really caring what the next person thinks of our relationship. And I think that's really helped us, because we know when to shut everything else that is coming from the external and really focus on what brought us together. Yeah.
So that culture, I mean, it's a culture. We've developed this hedge. You know what I mean? Through that, we've learned to develop a hedge to protect ourselves, you know what I mean? Or to protect this relationship that we have from society, from, you know, external forces. So we know, we knew when to switch on and switch off. You know what I mean? I think that was very vital or very important, you know what I mean?
Okay, baby, so we continue to, you know, start with our careers in 2015. And then at the end of 2015, you get an offer to move to a different city.
Yeah, to be out of here.
To be out of Joburg, leaving me alone, to a whole different city.
Yeah, so I left you in the jungle.
You left me in the jungle, in the concrete jungle.
Yeah, I went to a small town. So that was also a life-changing moment. It was a shift on its own as well, you know. So it was tough, guys. It was really tough. It wasn't an easy decision to make from the beginning, especially if you have a plan, you know, and you've worked out the plan in your mind, and you've worked out the plan in your head, you know, and you've both sat down and agreed on it, you know. And then here comes a disruptor, you know. So
it really was a big distraction.
yeah, so now, I mean, you have to not change, but you have to accommodate this change, you know, or the change, basically. You know, so yeah, it was tough, eh? I remember when I had to tell you that, hey, there's this opportunity, but babe, I'm gonna be out of the city. So and I remember it was a tough discussion.
I hope I don't cry. But so it was very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, after having spent 4 years in the same area and being used to having baby around me, it was a very difficult situation for me. But I understood that, you know, as much as we are in a relationship together, there comes a point where you have to allow each other's dreams to manifest. And that's sort of where I sort of drew my inspiration from, that, you know, as much as it's a difficult decision in the relationship per se, but I had to let you go because you were growing your career. Okay, babe, so 2016 goes by, and then you're in Witbank, I'm in Joburg.
Yeah.
And then 2017 starts, and you get an offer to move back to Joburg, and I'm the happiest girl alive.
Okay.
So, I mean, so you had already started saving for Lobola in 2016, right?
Yes. I started saving for Lobola, first paycheck in 2016. Yeah. That I had a savings account, put money aside. Listen here, I promised this girl or this woman that I'm gonna marry her. What I had done was, first paycheck, you know, instead of going all rowdy and crazy, put it aside.
So, fine. 2017, I don't think there was any significant things that happened in 2017. Besides, you know, the saving towards our big day. You know, you were saving, I wasn't. I was blowing my money.
Yeah.
I was living the life. I guess we need to then start leading to the engagement. So what happened first, baby? Was it the engagement or the Lobola first?
No, it was the proposal.
It was the proposal, right?
Yeah, it was a proposal in January 2018.
18
yeah.
years. So you can take us through that.
In January 2018.
I'm keen to find out all the background information that I don't know.
No, I'm not giving away anything. You know?
Come on.
I can't give away anything. So, but in January, I think in December 2017, around about November, I decided, yo, I'm gonna need a ring, guys. You know, if I'm ready to pay Lobola in March, you know, we need a ring, you know. But I had saved up for a ring as well, because you have to save up for Lobola, you have to save up for a ring. Hey guys, it's a lot. So, but now what happened was in December, I was back home, December 2017, right? That's when I was looking through. I'm trying to remember what does Nos like? What did she say she wants? She said she wants a diamond ring. She wants a stone. You know, her stone must show. You know what I mean? It must be visible.
You're exposing me, but it's okay.
Because she's glamorous like that. You know, my baby is glamorous like that. You are love. So had to shop around, you know, ask her sisters, try to get the finger size as well, you know, right. And did I get it right? I think I got it right.
You know, you didn't. It was so big. That ring was so big.
So I spoke to your sister, though, you know what I mean? And your sisters, both your sisters, and I was calling them. I was like, guys, can you please give me a ring size? And yeah, eventually we came up with the size. Went to the shops to get that. Did everything behind your back. So in January, by the time we came back to Joburg, back to work, right? I think we're still going through our fasting season there. So I'm like, Pela, I have to do it now. You know what I mean? I have to do it, and I have to do it this month.
Wait, take a step back.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, tell me, because I really want to know. How did you decide on the manner of how you were going to do it? Like, you know, the whole engagement thing.
Oh, the whole proposal thing.
Proposal.
So, all right, now I have the ring, right? I have the ring, but the question is, when are you going to propose, right? Or how are you going to propose? So, with that being said, I had a lot of ideas, you know. Thought about it. Should we go maybe diving in the ocean? And
With who?
I was like, wow, that's not
Diving
gonna
in the
work.
ocean with who?
Skydiving, you know, skydiving and be like,
Nina,
Nurse,
Emma,
will you marry me? And I was like, no, that's not gonna work. She's afraid of heights. She's like, baby, I'm never gonna do that. So she's so hard to crack. You're a hard nut to crack. And now I'm like, okay, what is it? That's probably what can one do? You know what I mean? Should we get a helicopter? Go for a helicopter ride and ride down there? Will you marry me? You know, came up with all those ideas. Yeah, you know, and I was like, but Nos is afraid of heights. When you're in a helicopter, she's not gonna be able to look down. You know, so eventually set myself down one day. I'm like, you know what? Let's keep it simple, right? But the thing is, you're always with me. Yeah. So it was hard for me to plan behind your back.
Yeah, it was very hard.
Yeah, so what I did was, I remember that day you're like, no, babe, I want to go do my hair and stuff. I was like, perfect. It was a Saturday. But the only thing is that we were still going through our fasting season, right?
Also, it was a 21 days fasting in January.
And we're only having veggies. So fruits and veggies, you know? So I was like, okay, perfect. This gives me an opportunity. She's always with me. Well, I'll take it to the salon. And then from there, called a friend up. Hey, can you help me with 1, 2, and 3, you know? I need to arrange this kind of setup. Well, we did that, we did it. And then when I went to pick you up afterwards, when we picked you up, I told everyone except for you.
Right? Who's everyone?
Your cousins, you know? Your little sisters were there.
My little sisters.
Yeah, because they were there to visit you for the weekend, right? Yeah. And I told them that, guys, you're responsible for the camera, you are responsible for the music, you are responsible for the for the scene, you are responsible for the candles. Make sure that the candles don't go off, right? They have to stay on, right? So I've given them tasks. Like, okay, this is your task, this is your task, this is your task, right?
And they were so awkward throughout the whole day. I'm like, these girls. When I was at the salon, because I spent more than 5 hours at the salon.
And I was so happy, like, yo, that day you're giving me time, man. Because you know how we're always together, right? So, like, wow, she gave me so much time.
And that time I'm annoyed. I'm like, this guy won't even finish doing my nails. I spent more than 5 hours at the salon, and I'm trying to chat to them, I'm trying to chat to you, and I'm not getting attention from anyone. And so I think I was annoyed.
Yeah, so that was it, and it happened. I remember when we walked inside that room and the door opened the door, because I went before you, right? And you even said that I'm leaving you behind.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy, I mean, I just had a long day at the salon, and as soon as we get out of the car, he just runs and leaves me behind. I'm like,
he's not even gonna open my door or close my door.
He's
not even open the boot. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's just running, you know?
And I was so annoyed. I'm like, this is not gonna end well.
But I had bigger plans, so it happened, and thank God everything went well. Pop the question.
I think I should maybe tell my part of the story from when I opened the door. So I'm opening the door, right? And damn, I mean, I'm annoyed at this guy for leaving me behind. And when I open the door, there's like candles everywhere. There's like rose petals everywhere. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
And this is coming from a guy who was known not to be that romantic.
No, but you weren't, baby. You weren't that romantic.
Yeah, so it was coming from a guy who was just uptight and not romantic at all. Yeah.
So I'm like seeing these lights and rose petals, and then as I walk in there, I see like a pattern. I don't know if it's a pattern but
Had the
from
petals
afar,
on the floor.
From afar, it looked like a pattern, and then as I drew closer, it looked like, you know, a whole written sentence saying, "Will you marry me?" It didn't click when I was walking in, but as I walked closer, it clicked that, oh, that's what's happening. And then, like, I was just so overwhelmed with emotion. It was just an amazing
So I got
feeling.
it right,
Like, you really caught me off guard. I couldn't catch a single hint. I think that was really well done. Okay, baby. So the engagement happened, and I finally had a ring on my finger.
Yeah.
And then, so the engagement ring is still on my finger. So we decided to have one ring for the engagement and the wedding, and we just got a band for the wedding because I really love my engagement ring. So that happened.
Yeah. No, this is not like a couch.
I know you want to touch me.
I miss the couch. Yeah.
Stop it. So maybe we should go back to the couch next time, though.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah. All right. So up next, I obviously wear the ring, and then I have to tell my mom about it. So I told everyone. I told my sisters. I told my friends. But I went home specifically to tell my mom that, you know, Setu had engaged. And my mom is very traditional, right?
This guy coming to propose. What is a proposal?
My mom doesn't understand all these fancy new modern things. She's just like, excuse me, what do you mean? I know he's coming. I know he's coming to Lobola, but like, you better take that ring off until that happens. So I was like, yeah, fine, I'll do it. But I obviously wore the ring. When I went back to Joburg, I continued to wear the ring because I knew, it was only 2 months left before we had the Lobola. So the road leading towards Lobola was a smooth one. I think the only thing that we really had to do was just, coordinate a lot of things. Oh, I'm forgetting a very important part.
Yeah. I was about to say, hey.
So you tell us then.
What? Road to Lobola. Yeah. Look, Road to Lobola for me was my, that was the best part for me. I think Lobola was bigger than anything else, you know, even bigger than the wedding day, you know. So that's how important Lobola was for me, you know. And I really enjoyed that whole phase in our lives, you know. And Road to Lobola, it was supposed to be a traditional wedding.
Yeah. So I think we already mentioned that we were supposed, in our heads, we were having a traditional wedding straight after the day of the Lobola. So we planned our Lobola to be on the 3rd of March 2018. And immediately after that, we thought we were going to have a traditional wedding. But our parents sort of came back and said, that is not happening.
Nope.
We are not allowing
in
you guys.
Dreams.
In your dreams.
I like what you said. It was in our heads, in our minds.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So maybe if I can give a bit more context in the background of why they felt that way. And I don't think we've mentioned this before, but I am an only child from my mom's side, so I don't have any siblings. I know we've been referring to my sisters, but they're more my cousins, but I just refer to them as sisters because they're just that close to me. But I'm an only child from my side. So, from my background, we've never had a wedding per se. I was sort of the first girl child to have a white wedding.
Yep.
So there's been a lot of traditional weddings, but we never had a white wedding.
Yeah.
And baby on his side is also the only child from your mom's side.
Yeah.
So that was sort of like a moment that our parents went through, and
more than anything, it's something that our parents wanted. They've always looked forward to our wedding day, right?
Yeah.
And they've always pictured us or them basically being part of this big celebration, right? So they shared, as much as we had our own vision and our own plans, right? They also had an opportunity to sit down with us and tell us what they had envisioned. So we couldn't really be selfish about that, and
I guess, baby, to us it was so important because it was a way of us getting a blessing from our
more
parents.
than anything. That's all.
So we thought the only best way to get the blessing unto our marriage from our parents is to honor what they wish for. So we then decided that it's okay, it's fine. We'll have Lobola first, and then the wedding will follow a few months later. They initially wanted it to be 2 months after Lobola. I was like, no ways.
I remember
How the hell is Lobola supposed to do my dress in 2 months?
You're like the first thing you said. You're like, my dress.
I'm like, no ways.
I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know. But it's funny because how eventually our Lobola day, right? I really enjoyed our Lobola day, right? There was a lot of hype around it, you know.
Yeah.
I know from my friends, my circle, you know, like the guys actually hyped it up, you know, like it was so hyped up and we had so much fun, hey? Towards building up towards Lobola. I mean, when the day came, you know, we were just having so much fun.
We
already,
were all over the moon.
Yeah,
I think we have like one of the best friends in the world.
Yeah,
because our friends really know how to hype things up and make us more excited than they are. So I mean, leading up to that day, we were just also excited and we couldn't wait to, you know, experience that day. Our families were
excited. So what was supposed to be initially an ordinary Lobola day, you know, just negotiations, turned out to be a
whole big event.
People look at our pictures and they're like, you guys had a whole traditional wedding.
And so I got this a lot, baby. People were like, why didn't you invite us to your wedding? I'm just like, guys.
It wasn't a wedding.
It wasn't a wedding.
And it was just Lobola's.
It was just Lobola. And it just went out of proportion. And, you know, people started coming and it seemed like a whole celebration.
Yeah, and what had happened is that after the negotiations, right, because we were not far from one another, right, my family requested that, okay, since we've already paid Lobola, you know, and now we're family, right, can we then ask you to makoti ayovele ekhaya bambone labatsala, you know, and here came Nos with the whole crew, you know, with an entourage. and
an outfit.
There were cars, there were bells, you know, you could hear them hooting from a distance.
Oh my word.
And people started dancing and it was fun, you know. And afterwards what happened was like, your side of the family asked to actually see me as well.
And then I took you home with me.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, babe, they want to see you. Everyone who got there, same scenario, you know, same thing. But it was so much fun, eh?
It was amazing. I really enjoyed my Lobola day. I think till this day, I look back to my Lobola day and I'm like, wow, I don't think I've ever bonded with my family to that extent. I don't think I've ever bonded with your family, babe, to that extent.
Yeah.
So that was the first a significant event that allowed our families to sort of, you know, bond. And it's such a joyous moment when my family
two
agrees.
families together.
Yeah.
You know, like more than anything. It's a moment I was just sitting there, you know, everyone's having fun, you know, everyone's having a good time.
Everyone's just happy.
And you're just sitting there, you're like, wow, what just happened today? Like, we just brought two families together, you know what I mean? And it goes back to the purpose of our purpose of us being together, you know what I mean? Or the purpose of our relationship, like I said initially, that it is more of like we are a living testimony, like we're living testimony, and we are just out there to preach God's word to the people, you know what I mean? And we're doing it by just living our lives, you know, God is using us. So just on that day, I just sat back for a minute and I was like, wow. And I was like, look at God. He is really using us. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and man, I really enjoyed that day.
I loved the day. So that was Lobola. I'm sure you guys will tell from the pictures that we're also going to put on. it will just tell a great story of how much fun was had on that day, the reunion between my family and Seth's family, the after party, the after party that occurred on that day. So like it was so weird for me, right? I think I've mentioned before that I have a very strict mom. Strongly rooted. She's like a proper Christian who's rooted in the word. But that day she was open to people having a whole after party.
Have fun.
People were having fun in her home, something that had never happened before. So like it was really a joyous day, and for us it meant more than just the smiles from people. It just meant something so significant. It confirmed that indeed we were meant to be. Indeed, people are happy for us. Indeed, we have all the support that we need, to go ahead and be great in life.
Yeah, and indeed, this has been ordained by God and confirmed by God.
Yes.
So more than anything else. Because if you know what we're about preaching that message. We're about encouraging people.
Yeah, we're about telling people about the gift of love that God has granted into human nature.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I guess that's it from us for today. It was amazing having to share our story from varsity to Lobola, part 2. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. We'll see you next time as we speak about the most important day of our lives.
Part 3. You mean your episode, right? Okay, this was supposed to be my episode because I was so excited about the Lobola, the build up to Lobola. I was over the moon, And then, part 3, Noskum's episode.
I will tell you guys all about it. I will tell you about all the emotion involved towards our wedding day.
Yeah.
Even though he says it wasn't about him, he ended up enjoying more than I did. So I look forward to, the next episode of sharing our wedding day. And thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for listening to our story. Thank you for showing interest. I was about to say, you can't say from me. You can't say from me, Noskum, it's nothing but love. We need to say from us. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. From us, it's nothing but love.
Okay, ka. Sure.